Welcome to Those Guys Sports. It is your bite. It's your boy Mike, and this is my Raptors podcast. I, you know, just shouts out to those who watch the videos, like and subscribe. Shout out to you guys. In this Raptor one, I have to admit, I think the title of this is going to be "I'm bought in" or "I love the team again." I have to figure it out after I'm done editing and everything. But I'm bought in. I'm unfortunately bought into this team. It took one Raptors video to completely sell me. I'm sold. I'm completely sold on the Raptors this season. How'd they get me so quickly? I thought I was going to be pretty like, yeah, this team won't be good. I'm good. I'm off this team. Not off it completely. I still love this team. But I thought I was like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm not going to be too much in love with this team. False. I'm in love. Damn it, I almost like a lot of the pieces on this team. I'm like, damn, this team go 10 deep, a little bit 11 deep. They got me again. I said it wouldn't happen, but they did. Masai, you got me to believe a little bit. Now, do I believe they win a title? No, I don't think this team is anywhere close to winning a title. I think Gary Trent Jr. would have to literally become Devin Booker for them to like win a title. And I don't see that happening. OG would have to legit become Kawhi. Barnes would have to become freaking Sabonis or something. And Pascal would have to still do Pascal things. And but Pascal would have to be an all elite, like shooting the three at a 40% clip. If he has the ball, you're afraid that he's about to execute at a high rate. And like you're just saying you're asking for too much from this squad. And I don't think you should be asking for that. Now I think I'm gonna go on the spiel of why I believe. I will. That's my first topic. I'm gonna talk about why I believe. I'm talking about uh, some preseason thoughts that I had, and why I think Pascal may struggle in this offense a little bit. Hopefully, we won't see a lot of that, but why he may struggle. Well, let me go to the first topic. Like I just said, I believe in this team. Do I want to believe in this team? No, I don't. I've seen I saw one where they gave the Raptors like the seventh or eighth seed. I think it was ESPN. But then I watch a bunch of podcasts and I see a lot of people rank their teams and a lot of people rank the Raptors low. I don't blame that. I agree with it. I think that's exactly where they should be. A low seed. I don't think the Raptors should be. I don't I don't want to believe, I should say that. I don't want to believe that this team is going to be anything more than a seventh or eighth seed, right? I don't want to believe that. Now, I took the one video. Now I'll tell you guys what the video was. It was Darko. Oh my gosh, it was Darko. I'm gonna mess up his last name right now, but Darko and one of the assistant coaches, and they're like how they believe in this team, and then they're giving everyone daps. And then there was this is what really got me. Dennis Schroeder and Darko were like dapping up, a little bit of like a hug embrace, I should say. And you know, I think Dennis Schroeder he's been a part of a lot of teams. Been a part of a Lakers team that believed they were going to win a title last year. Been a part of a good upcoming OKC team with a young Shea, a veteran Chris Paul. He's been a part of a lot of actual good squads. And for some reason, him and Darko said this year's going to be special. Special for what? What's special? Chill, relax. What's special though? What's making you believe in this team? What am I missing? Because clearly I'm missing something. Clearly, other Raptor fans are missing something. But you're telling us that you believe. You're saying that this is something to believe in. Well, damn it, you got me again. You made me believe that this Raptor team is going to be good. Now, when I think about the Eastern Conference, right? Of course, the Drew Holiday trade, the Damian Lillard trade, all those things. Well, Milwaukee and Boston and Cleveland will be the top three teams in the East. I originally was going to predict, I was going to do a bold prediction podcast, and I was going to predict the Cavs were going to be number one. I was like, the Cavs will be the best team. They have all the makings of a regular season team. They're going to be good. They have the depth. They will always beat down on really bad teams. That's where when you think of the rankings, when you make your predictions, you got to think about like what type of team is this against really bad teams, and what type of team is it against really good teams. These are not 7 game series, so I can see the Cleveland Cavaliers beating the Milwaukee Bucks a couple games this season. I can see them beating the Boston Celtics a couple games, the Philadelphia 76ers, and then when it comes to the bad teams, oh, I think this team's gonna win. Yeah, I think this team is gonna win games. So I predicted the Cavs maybe even second place. I wouldn't be surprised, and no, nor should anyone. But Boston, Cavs, Milwaukee, the top three teams in the East. Don't know what order, but that's gonna be the order. That's gonna be the three. Philadelphia depends on this James Harden situation. The man said he never wants to play a second for Daryl Morey, but he's doing it. I don't know what's gonna happen later on. I'm not sure if this guy's gonna fake an injury. I don't know what's gonna happen there, but something's gonna happen. Then after those 4 teams, there are teams like the Knicks, the Hawks, Magic. If you want to include the Nets, Miami, of course, and then the Raptors, right? Like you got to talk about all those teams. Miami, Miami may be like 7th or 8th. Okay, I don't predict for them to be, even though they did it 2 years ago, they were like first overall. I don't know. We'll just have to wait. Miami's a team that no matter what, you're still thinking they could, right? If Tyler Hero can give them like 24 points a game in the playoff, plus Jimmy can do his thing and Bam can do his thing, still a pretty good team. Like, still, we get it. They lost people, but imagine Duncan Robinson going back to the guy that we all believe he is, or he was, a guy who could shoot 43 or 40% shooting the three. That makes things a lot different. So you have a Duncan Robinson. Imagine if what we saw with Caleb Martin wasn't a fluke. The thing is, the Heat gives everyone more confidence. What if Caleb Martin is thinking this year he's gonna just score as much as he wants to? And then Bam and Jimmy are just gonna give these guys the confidence and say, come playoff time, that's when we show up. That's when it's our turn. Come playoff time. But Caleb, Duncan, Tyler, lead this team throughout the whole season. We'll be 44-38. We're okay with that. We're not really trying to be the best team anyway. We're gonna let Boston waste themselves, we're gonna let Milwaukee and we're gonna let Cleveland waste themselves. So I would say Miami's still a top team. I don't know where they're gonna fall. But when I look at the Raptors, and now this is where the argument plays. I think, and I did this video before who the Raptors are better than, and I literally put them 11. So even a few videos ago, I put the Raptors 11. But like I said, Dennis Schroeder and Darko looked at each other and said, this year's going to be special. And I'm like, damn it, I believe. I don't know why I believe. When I look at the Raptors, do I think they're better than the Knicks? I think I said it then. The Knicks are not that much better than them. If they are better, they're not that much better. They're like really not that much better. I think the Raptors can really hunt most of their mismatches. I think the depth wise, the Knicks are probably deeper in guys like you can give quality minutes to. So I'll say that. But imagine if Scotty Barnes takes a leap. And we'll talk about the preseason, and because it's just a preseason, but Scotty was confident, and you can tell that they're really trying to make it his team, and you can really tell certain things that they're doing with Scotty and the Raptors, and really one of the things that you can tell Masai really wanted to get involved with the Raptors. So you have all the Knicks. Then I think the Raptors are better than Brooklyn. You have Atlanta, who I now can think that Toronto is better than Atlanta. Atlanta has the guards, Toronto has the bigs. They can offset each other, but at the end of the day, you have multiple people who can guard a Trae Young, who can guard a DeJounte Murray, who on the Hawks, besides DeAndre Hunter, can really guard Pascal Siakam and limit him. No one on that team could. I'm telling you now. You guys can talk whatever shit you want about Pascal, but he can get a bucket. He can definitely get a bucket. And that's what I could see this season really being for Pascal is like we're gonna play around everyone, and when we need that bucket, Pascal, we need you to perform. I could think that's what they're going with. Yeah, so at Knicks, Brooklyn, Orlando is the one team that he kind of changed everything for me. If if Pablo and Franz take another leap, then I think this team will be better. I'm not sure what we're gonna get from Cole Anthony and Marquise Fultz. Um, but if they're of any if they're just better than what they were last year or kind of the same, it's still pretty good. And now Jalen Suggs ends up being a really good starting point guard or a backup shooting guard, whatever. It's only make Orlando better. Indiana, same thing. The team I actually wanted to believe in was the Detroit Pistons, um, but it seems like I could be wrong. Maybe this year's not their year. I really wanted Detroit to kind of step out. I love Cade, but if I had to make a quick bold prediction, maybe Detroit is the team that's going to be much better than people think. Maybe they'll be the Utah Jazz of last year, something like that. Um, yeah, and then the Charlotte Hornets, I don't believe in at all, so that's fine. But so I'm naming all these names, and I'm thinking, can the Raptors be a top 8 seed in the East? Yeah, they can. Will they be top 6? If the Raptors can beat on the bad teams and, of course, go 500 against everyone else, it's possible. This is what everyone's hoping for. You know, when I go scoring talent, I think Chicago is better than Toronto, like scoring wise. But for some reason now I'm starting to believe in Toronto more than Chicago, and I think Chicago has the scoring. They have Zach, they have Demar, they have Vucevic, they have 3 guys who can get buckets. They actually upgraded their bench a little bit, so it's like, is Chicago gonna be better? But I think if Chicago doesn't start off well, if their first 25 games isn't good, if they don't have like, if Chicago is not at least like 13 wins, like 13 and 12, they're tearing it down. You'll see trades. You'll see trades. Yeah, I heard that they want to extend, but they won't. Gotta trade DeMar. I don't know what package you can get for DeMar. Maybe you just restarted with Zach LaVine, but why would you do that? You should trade everyone. Just really start low. I don't know what their draft capital is, but you really got to start getting some draft picks. Start young and keep Patrick Williams and just kind of go from there. So yeah, I'm starting to believe. It comes down to it. How can I not think this team is not a top 18? Jimmy Butler and Miami Heat have done so much that I don't want to disrespect them. I think Toronto, I always say if they kept Fred VanVleet and still had Dennis Schroeder, I would honestly say Toronto's a top 4 team in the East because I think they have the ability to guard guys like Harden and Embiid and even and Maxey. The growth of Barnes, the Pascal being their guy, like I would say, and then Fred still being there with a better bench of a Dennis Schroeder and a Gary and blah blah blah, then I would easily believe that. And yeah, it's just I don't believe. And then seeing the preseason, it's just preseason. It's just preseason. But I can kind of see Darko's offense a little bit. And it's I understand what he's trying to do. Everyone gets the ball, everyone's free. And then the one thing that makes this season a little different for me and why I'm starting to believe so much is they seem to generally get along. Everyone seems to be like each other. And that's like something that we honestly were like praying for last season for guys to like each other. But it seems like this season they actually do. And it's something different, something we didn't see last year. When the side talks about selfishness, and we're all like, "Oh, Pascal wasn't selfish," but maybe there was a little bit of selfishness. Maybe there was a little bit of like, "We're down 4, give me the ball. I'm just gonna do it. You guys don't know what you're doing." Type of offense. Maybe it wasn't like trusting the offense a little bit more. Maybe it wasn't trusting each other because selfishness could be like the whole thought of trusting each other and having fun. The one thing I can say with this team right now, look like they're having a lot of fun. Looks like they're trusting Dennis Schroeder to lead the break and Barnes to step up and Pascal I think has done a lot in that first preseason, and like it's just I believe I believe in this team. I didn't think I was gonna do it, but I definitely am believing in this Toronto Raptors team. Let me talk about some preseason. They face the Sacramento Kings. In the match against Sacramento Kings, they win. To talk about the highlights, Gary Trent was a highlight. They need him. They need 20 points from Gary. Probably not every night, but you need like 15 every night from Gary. Yeah, and of course you'll have your off nights, but I think consistently Gary probably has to average 17, 18 points a game. Just like he did last year. He did it last year. You need to do it again. This team really needs it. Like this last year needed it, but this team needs it. Like this team needs it. So yeah, Gary was great. OG, you know, I always feel like he has an awkward 3 point shot, but it goes in. He's probably gonna go 38% this year, and with open with catch and shoots, like he's gonna go pretty good. So I would expect him to be a little better than my thing is glaring a little bit, but it's all good. I would expect him to be much better. Scotty was great. Scotty was great. Scotty, when he had the mismatch, he went down low. He used his body. The thing with Scotty, he's such a unicorn in that sense. You know, we don't know the best version of Scotty. Is he Giannis? Is he Draymond? Is he Ben Simmons? I've always said I think the best version of Barnes is a better scoring version of Draymond Green. Barnes maybe will never give you the 25, 10, and like 4. Maybe Scotty's best version of Scotty is 19, 8, and 8 because he gets involved in everything. He's defensively, he's there. So I like that. I like Dennis Schroeder as the lead ball handler. I thought he was good at kind of getting the guys going. Always say my biggest fear with Dennis Schroeder, he's a passionate guy. So I'm always curious how that passion is gonna to be with this team. And overall, we got to talk about their defense wasn't bad at all. They weren't like over exerting themselves trying to get steals. Funny enough, freaking Gary still had 3 steals the game. Defensively, they were really good. And the person I really want to say was really good defensively, and I'm like, damn. And I see some people tweet about it. I'm like, I'm thinking, is anyone noticing this? Pascal was really good defensively, really good. He was active, uh, ability to get steals because they weren't going all over the place. They weren't jumping through every passing lane. They weren't like overselling in the 3 point line. It was just really good. So I thought Pascal's defense was really, I thought everyone's was. Jalen McDaniels is going to get minutes. And I think he deserves the minutes. I think he played well enough. He defensively was all over the place. Especially at one point, he was switching everywhere. And I think like one thing that's always good on a team, and I've said it from day one, is role definition. When guys know what their role is on the team, it makes it better. At the end of the day, I think the whole team knows that like Pascal's the guy when clock is down that you should give the ball to. Him, it'll probably go him, Dennis, because Dennis is probably the second best. If Gary's on the court, then Gary would do it, and then Scotty, then OG. Like those are the guys you want to break down the defense and come up with something, play make. Those are the guys you're going to want to. Now, the thing that also a lot of people said, and I have to agree that I was a little bit weary about during this, was Pascal wasn't as involved as I wish he was. They definitely got Gary involved. Scotty got involved. OG got involved. There was a couple instances where I saw like Pascal go put his hands up like this, waiting for the ball, and no one passed him the ball. So then I think to myself, like, is this offense not gonna include him in this more elbow type pass to the big and he'll kind of creates type of offense? It could be the case. I think when you have a Pascal Siakam or you have a player, an all-star, all-NBA player, they're gonna figure it out. And I think with this team, the main objective is to make sure that everyone gets their touches and everyone gets their looks. Because when it comes down to it, Pascal's the all-star, he's the all-NBA player. You're gonna give him the ball and be like, hey, we're a little like stagnant right now. Create something for us. And if you keep doing that, then he's still gonna average about 22 points a game because offenses get stagnant. He's gonna still have some easy buckets. He's still your best player on the team, and he's still a guy that you want to allow create. He still provides open opportunities for Gary, for an OG, for Scotty Barnes. He still provides the best offense for them when things are stagnant. So I think it's something that you're always going to want to see in this offense. But I would say that a lot of people did think that like the lack of Pascal was kind of like glaring, like very because like we all believe in Pascal's talent. We all believe that Pascal is the best player on the team. So we kind of wanted to see more from that. I'm hoping that this new wave of offense is not going to be Pascal, all of a sudden averaging 18 points a game. Like I'm hoping that's not the case. I think a lot of people feel the same way. We're hoping that Pascal is not all of a sudden just one of the guys, especially because he's proven not to be. So it's kind of weird that you would make him that. And if that's the case, then it's like another thing that everyone's gonna believe is the reason why like he's out the door soon. They're gonna trade him soon. And also if you want the bang for your buck for Pascal, and you got to make him score, right? Because if you want to eventually trade him and potentially trade him for like three first round picks, unprotected, yeah, you need the man to score. You need him. You need another team to believe that this guy is their missing piece, and and that's what You're gonna have to do. Or you call Golden State and be like, what you're willing to give up. They tell you, Kaminga, Moody. They would have to give up maybe one more draft pick in the future, and then they would have to give up a big contract. So it'd be like probably an Andrew Wiggins, which you're gonna have to flip, or something like that would have to happen, or Klay Thompson, something that would have to flip. I don't think they're gonna trade Klay Thompson. I think they're good, or you almost have to trade for Chris Paul and then waive him, right? But you get all the draft picks and things like that. That's just something I just thought of now. Like I'm not even saying that Basil's a Golden State, but that's something you would have to do to kind of overall make it work. But yeah, it's just Pascal just was a little bit out of it when it comes to the offense, and something that you don't want to see happen often. You want Pascal to be there. So I'm curious what that's going to look like. The one thing I think the Rocket team's going to need, and I don't want to, I want to, Malachi got minutes, and I think there's a reason why. They still want, like, especially, besides that in the past, they want to see what they have in Malachi. In order for you to see what you have in Malachi, he has to play. So that's what's gonna have to happen. Malachi, I know people are gonna hate it. I like Malachi. I think he has something in him. I actually want to see Malachi play more. I want to see what he can do. So Malachi is someone that if he can just hit the three at a consistent rate while still leading this team, make little to no mistakes. He's still a guy who can get some minutes. Now, when it comes to like this roster, right, and this like you have your starting five and you have Gary Trent. That's your six guys. Jalen McDaniels is going to play minutes easily. He should. If he can hit the three on the corner consistently, that would be great. Then you have Precious Achua, who didn't obviously he's hurt, so hopefully he'll get well soon. He's probably your backup five. I think the way this offense is running, he's your backup five. Thad was playing backup five, but I'm not sure if Thad's gonna get a lot of minutes this season. But you have Boucher, who played great, really good. I think he's someone who's going to flourish in this offense. It's kind of like as long as everyone's cutting, you're going to touch the ball. And I think sometimes people may leave like a Boucher open for a three or leave him open on the dunker spot. One of those things I think is going to happen. So like I said, you have the six, and then Jalen, you have Precious, you have Boucher already getting minutes. Now you may want to play Malachi. But you know who you got to play is Otto Porter because he's probably your one of your most consistent 3 point shooters. Has one of the highest volume 3 point shoot or the best percentage I should say, not volume percentage is in Otto Porter. So you got to play Otto Porter too. That leaves you 11 guys. Then I didn't mention Thad Young, who I love Thad Young, who I like actually thought of him as a backup center. Then you still have Christian Koloko, a young guy that got to play. Now they say that they're going to go 10 deep. I can see it now. I can see it. There's so much guys you want to see get minutes, and there's so much things that you kind of just want to see overall. So I can see that all happening. Now, how's this rotation really going to go? Like I said, I think the five plus Gary is for sure. That's the highest minutes overall. Then you got to go matchup dependent, I believe, for the rest. But I definitely believe a Boucher is going to play, a Precious is going to play, and a Jalen Down is going to play. That's four already. That's for then right the fifth and the 10th person, I should say. That person's going to be a group of Malachi. It's going to be a group of Malachi, Dad, Otto, one of those guys. I think you play Otto. I said it before. I'm starting Otto. I know it may look a little weird, but if the way this offense was moving just now, if you had Pirtle, have it in the low post, have the ability to pass to OG or Pascal, then Pascal can create. I always think to myself, having an Otto in one corner and OG in another corner with a potential of a Pirtle or Barnes at the dunker spot or Barnes at the top of the key with a nice jumper, I think it's just I like that type of offense. And then with the bench, you would have Gary and Shorter just lead it with Gary Shorter. Then you go Jalen. Then you go Boucher and Precious. Your bench lineup is pretty good, very good, especially if Precious and Boucher can hit the three at a 35. Now these are all I'm saying for all of them. You're wishing, you're wishing, you're wishing. It doesn't happen. Someone's shooting 33%. Just the way it works. But yeah, it's something that you just kind of want to see. But this Raptor team is kind of like, can I say it, a little deeper than last year? Or is it just guys you want to see play more? But with an Otto Porter who didn't play preseason because you want to slow it down for him, and you want him to play like it's like damn like is our team deeper? Is it deeper? Is Jalen McDaniels really good? Is he going to be like a fan favorite? I can see it happening. If he plays defense the way he was playing this preseason, hits the three at a consistent level, I can see it. I can see it. This team may be better than we think. I don't know. I don't know. It's incredibly wishful thinking. It's something that I don't want to get too tied up in. It's something that I don't want to truly believe in just yet. But I'm believing in it a little bit. I believe in this team a little bit, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I believe that this team is like a seventh or eighth seed at most. I believe if I kind of still want to see Barnes and like I think OG and all. I think they are who they are. I think Gary's is who he is. I'm just thinking that like if Pascal and Barnes just become like if we just see such a different like leap in them or more efficient level in both of them, sky's the limit for this team. Flip, I'm sold. Darko, you got me sold. You got me sold. Damn it. But tell me what you guys think. Like and subscribe. And I'm gonna talk to you guys again because I'm clearly in love with this Raptor team, unfortunately.